Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another predicted lineup show on Chelsea Perspective. This particular show is becoming pretty popular on Chelsea Perspective, and I am enjoying it. I think it makes sense that we separate it from the match preview proper, but we'll still look at all the things like again the insides and all that. It's important that we do that. Again, before we move on, it's important that I follow the tradition here on Chelsea Perspective. Look at those in the chat, see what they're saying, and I want to hear from you whether you're confident or whether again you're a bit whether you're nervous about tomorrow's games. Again, you can say this time I'm confident. I don't know whether to say if it's a good thing or not because I'm not the players themselves. The game is decided again under 90 minutes and after the final whistle. So let's see again. Blue afternoon, blue evening, Coachella panel and chat. Again, the same to you. I hope you're doing well, Leon Lane. Nice to see you here. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. I cannot thank you enough. And here we have again. Please like and subscribe if you have not. As you enter, as it helps the channel reach a wider audience. Yes, the likes do again a lot for the channel. It helps us. It triggers the YouTube algorithm, which in turn pushes the stream to more people who will be interested in this particular topic. So thank you so much for finding the time to join. Those Chelsea press conferences are getting worse by the day. I want you to elaborate, Liam. I really don't. I really want to understand what you mean. Again, it looks like they're now asking, constructive questions. Maybe again, I swear, after putting AC Milan again in a split the last two games. If we don't win this, I'm rioting. Again, it's not easy, even though they have a lot of players out. Again, I think we're going to look at it. It's still not going to be easy as it sounds on paper. And Santiago Munoz, how are you? I hope you're doing well, brother. Again, thanks for finding time to join the show. Would like to see Chukwuemeka and Zakaria start, but not likely. Again, give them a full game. If anybody will start, I don't see Zakaria getting a start over before Khan Chukwuemeka does, except if circumstances such as, again, Koulibaly's injury force us to do so, maybe that will happen. But Koulibaly's injury is not that serious, we've heard. Again, it's just a precautionary measure not to aggravate the little pain he's feeling already to something even more serious. So again, if you're watching, let us know, again, how you're feeling, whether you're nervous, whether you're confident. But that's by the way. I'm going to say welcome to the panel to my brother AD Roger, so to speak, not AD. Now I'm mixing your name up. Roger, I hope you're well. I know it's late for you, probably 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. already. But welcome to the panel, bro. Sorry?
Thank you. It's 2000 hours. I've been called worse, trust me.
But it's a name after all. I didn't say anything wrong.
Totally.
Yeah, that's. You say you've been called worse, like I can't do something. Yeah, I mean, that's by the way. Again, so Eddie, your thoughts. Again, are you nervous? Are you confident? Again, that we're going to, finish the group stage, top in the group. I want to get your thoughts.
I'm always apprehensive.
You're what?
I'm always apprehensive, nervous. Didn't they beat us 1-0? That was Tuchel's last game.
Against them, I don't remember. We'll look at it in a bit. I'll open the table.
But we need at least to draw, if not win. We're playing away, if I'm not mistaken. So we're playing it. Isn't this an Austrian team? I don't know. I don't believe we're going to lose, especially if Chalobah starts. Wink, wink. But
yeah,
I want to.
He's record. You're banking on that one.
No, I'm just joking. But I'm seriously. I'm looking. I was really pleased with Kepa, even though we haven't sold him since he conceded a 3-centimeter goal. We should have sold him by now. But I think I'm really pleased with him. Seriously, I'm pleased for the most part about keeping clean sheets, or shall we say, not conceding too many goals. So I'm just hoping we need to solidify our midfield. I think we have to play 3 in there, either 3-5-2 or 4-3-3, etc., or 4-2-3-1. But we're going to have to be more clinical. It's the same story every week, coach, or every 3 days, I should say. And that's going to come about by, I think, starting different players, ones that are deserving of a start, like Pulisic. Like, seriously, I'm not joking. Carney Chukwuemeka. I
No,
believe he's.
I could. Here's the thing.
I don't think that's far fetched for me to say that.
No, it's not. I think he could have done better had he started over some of the guys that started off late.
Indeed.
Yeah, so
Indeed.
I wouldn't. I'm not surprised by your comment. And again, I don't know what else should I say here again. But we're just trying to predict what we believe Graham Potter would do. And in all honesty,
Yeah.
I think he'd go for experience.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, in terms of the number 9 position, which means Broja starting this one is a no-no. If anybody has a chance to start, it will be Carney Chukwuemeka. Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So let me have a look. The last game, how many minutes did Aubameyang play?
Let's look at it. Let's just look at it quickly. Give me a second.
Right here. I've got it here. So
yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead with your.
He was replaced on the 74th minute. And
that to me that counts like he played 90 minutes.
Yeah, no disrespect for a man of what 33 or so. I mean, I'd give my firstborn to be that age again, but you know, I don't think he starts. There's a strong possibility it's Kai or Broja, but depending on the formation also. I believe Loftus-Cheek will he played 79 minutes. I think Carney has a good chance of replacing him. And which position, I don't know. You know, I'm looking at, what's his name? Aspie. He played the whole game. So I can see Loftus-Cheek replacing Aspie.
I think, honestly, I would say Aubameyang start, given his experience. I think Potter respects that quite a lot. We've seen he respects the senior players even more. Again, Aubameyang, you can say, I think he starts this one. Let me just phrase it that way again.
That's fine.
Yeah, let me get what we have in the chat. Yes, Chila asking Potter about the Red Bull setup and how it's done. We want to know more about player choices. Again, information would be a lot more interesting. Yeah, but they're not asking that question. That's the thing. Again, it just sounded as if nobody there was representing Chelsea, even though I don't know them all. That's what it seems like. They're not asking questions, again, that will answer the questions that the fans has been asking. Zakaria, Christian Pulisic, selection and all that. I didn't hear anything in particular about any player that we've been concerned about. Please, Ziyech, please, Luis Garcia. Okay, yeah, I'll try to reach out to Graham Potter. But again, that happening, again, of all the games, even days where we're playing badly, that you can say if he comes on, he'd make a difference. We didn't see him come on. So I'm not going to start here and say, again, I can't say I'm sure when he's going to ever get to play to Chelsea again or not. But that's by the way. Good evening, Kuchila, and everyone in the chat. Good evening to you too, DJ. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. Chalobah has been amazing in defense. Yep, again, I'd say, again, you should see ask our fan base towards at the end of the last season what they want the club to do with him. They tell you, sell him. That's not good enough. But look at the difference he's making now. Again, he's learning from Silva. Again, bring back memories of the Saeed, Teacher, and Terry back later in the days. Again, this guy, again, Chalobah is such a fine player. Again, let me see anything else. Liam Lane, all good, thank you. Again, just started hearing some of our fan base wanting Kai Havertz sold. Again, they have the right to their opinion, really. And to me, I think we should be patient to the guy. And again, it will never stop. That's just the truth. But that's by the way. Again, let's get on it. Let's look at again what we have here. This guy's thinking. I was thinking the same too. That we were going to go. The formation that I'm smithing by. I'm allowed to phrase it. The 4-2-3-1 formation. And this guy's played with a 4-3-1-2. So it makes perfect sense that we go with this formation to have enough numbers in the midfield to counter the number they have there. Again, let's look at the injuries for both teams. In our case, we have Fofana. Yes, that's obvious. Reece James, a few weeks. It looks like Reece is really pushing to not miss the World Cup. I wouldn't. Again, I wouldn't push myself that much. I think he's still young, and another one will come around soon. Again, knee injury for Fofana mid-November. He comes back. The date for what's his name? Reece James is not specific. N'Golo Kante mid-February. And again, he misses the World Cup certainly. Khalido Koulibaly, again, a few days. And again, you can say he could have played this when it was come towards, but just being cautious. For them, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players out. Andres Omar, Dujan Kamari, Fernando, thigh injury, Nicolas Capaldo, Samson Tijani, and Sako Keita. They still have, so again, let me see who they have on. Okafor starts. Again, Okafor can be dangerous. Benjamin Sesko is, again, a fine finisher too, and a good player. I don't know the other players that much, again, but you can say it's not the worst for them because they still have some good players available for selection. Let me see what we have in the chat. Then I'll come back. Also, what is blocking my screen here? Okay, did Porter change Brighton formation every week? We cannot guess formation. Even Porter doesn't know until, again, at Brighton, he changed quite a lot. But I would say, to me, I don't think he's changed as constant as again, as often as he has done at Chelsea Football Club. Okay, at least that's how I see it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Roger. Chalobah made me forget Tomori. I wouldn't like to compare them, but I think I trust him better than I trust Tomori. And maybe that's because I'm seeing him now. Nothing that surprises me with this fan base, nothing at all. Again, Blues, again, I never knew you were, again, a mod on this channel. Who's he telling? Who? I'm not sure who he's talking to. Okay, let's see. Again, my formation, 4-1-4-1, Aspi, Chalobah, Thiago, Zakaria, Gallagher, Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic, and Aubameyang, my striker. We'll see if that happens. Again, I've had Potter doesn't trust Zakaria. I heard the same too, but again, there's no telling. We're not there. Let Potter get tips from Tuchel. Again, in the case of not trusting Zakaria, I'm hearing some stuff also that Zakaria is making some unpleasant gossiping in the camp, but I don't want to go into that. It's all hearsay at this point. But I'm going to come back to you, Roger. Again, I know we have 2 or 3 in the midfield again who are capable of packing, countering them. Again, if this is again, you can say probable lineup, and I'm suspecting we'll go for 4 at the back. But my reason being, if we play with the 4 at the back of formation, it gives us the opportunity to play again only one of Ben Chilwell and a Cucurella, which makes sense. We don't want to have them both on the pitch, especially now. Yeah, now that we're very thin, especially in the defensive area, it's a risk. It wouldn't make sense to play them both. So to me, this is a better formation. It gives us the opportunity to rest one of them. What do you think?
I entirely agree. We have no choice. We're so thin back there. Question is, does Silva start, or does or does Cucurella start? If Cucurella, from what I can gather, it looks like he's going to be fit enough to start. So if that's the case, I believe Koulibaly and Chalobah are good enough to play for us in a back 4.
Who?
Koulibaly and Chalobah.
But he's not going to play. He's not ready for this game, says Potter.
Oh, Koulibaly's not?
No. But if you're the track, correct me if I'm wrong. From what I heard, I don't think he starts.
Okay, I thought he was. I thought he. I mean, maybe I misinterpreted it completely. Okay, if that's the case, then Silva has to start. Good lord!
Oh, definitely, we can't do without him.
No, yeah, especially if Koulibaly's not starting, we have to play Silva. I mean, holy moly, we're really thin.
Yeah, we're thin. That's why. That's all the shouting we've been doing for a while now.
No,
really
I get it.
In that area.
Yeah, I told you. I'm perplexed as to why, just like virtually everyone else is, why Gilmore and Ethan Ampadu were let go, at least on loan. I just didn't get it. Yeah. So okay. So then Silva and Chalobah. and we just have to cross our fingers. Who's going to back them up if, God forbid, someone goes down?
Yeah, that's what I do not know. Maybe Salzburg to start centrally, but that's dangerous. No, I can. If Silva gets injured, most likely Chalobah starts centrally, and if it again, the only you could say viable option would be to switch to a three at the back system where Chalobah starts centrally to his right against the Salzburg quartet to his left, either Kukurea or Chalobah. Let me catch up with the chat again, and if I come back, we'll look at the insight. Then we go into predicting the lineup exercise. Again, if you haven't, take a second to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And I'm going to ask one question. I'm sure not everybody in here again he was here in the morning to answer the question. Let me see again. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you too, Chama Yosef. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding time to join. Great to see you. Okay, just talking again. Deed Zakaria. Still, no, I'm not going to use that language, please. Be careful. Just say, did he wrong him anyway? Just somewhat out there. Hi, Chama. Again, Chile played poor against United. That's just, again, to me, I actually thought he should have been the one to lift the pitch and not Kukurea. But the manager thinks otherwise, and I'm not going to argue otherwise, really. Again, Mount did the most tackle and interception versus United as well. Nothing new more than our defense. Why is he forced to defend? Again, other EPL top 8 attackers don't even defend 25% of what he does. I think it's up to him, really. That's the way he plays. It's in nature. Nobody is forcing him to do anything that isn't part of the game. But defending, you could say, again, is something, part of the, you could say, factors that define how Mount plays. Nobody is forcing him to do that. What do you think, Roger?
Exactly. I think it's part of Cobham's DNA with the youth that they instill them. You look at Connor, he's the same way. Is he not?
No, he's not. He is. That's why we're calling it for them, two of them to be rotational. One again comes in when the other isn't playing. They will help us save their energy, actually.
They're cut from the same cloth, in my opinion. They're identical in their production and output. The application with which they apply themselves, it's identical. Non-stop rock and roll football. They would, and I say this just as an analytical sense, not that I wish for this to transpire, but Jurgen Klopp would love both of those players. They would fit into his scheme so well. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're highly productive. I think they're to me they're pretty much equal. Yes, they have maybe slightly different styles in their shooting and so forth, but when you look at their production off the ball, they're identical. They really are in so many aspects, which is good. I like that because you want someone to track back. You want someone to not stick the boot in, but be defensive minded.
Yeah, and even he defends. It's good for the team. Again, it's good for his game overall. It's a simple as that. Yeah, love how again we spent more than 200 million on defenders and are thinking at the back. Yeah, here's the thing. That still isn't enough, really. It still isn't enough. I have to be honest with you. And we have again Koulibaly out. Yep. Surely he's not gonna get. He's not starting there for this one. A defense is as thin as the Conte's hair line.
Wow.
Oh, be fair. He shouldn't be back for the weekend. I think he should be back. Just a few days we heard again, but the weekend. I think he should be ready again. Please like and subscribe. When you enter, if you have not, as it helps the channel reach a wider audience, please keep liking the stream. We have just 10 likes now. We can actually do better than that. We should have kept Kowa. We should have kept a lot of players that would let go. It's as simple as that. But yeah, of course, it's not our decision.
Tomori also.
Yeah, in this case, I think he wanted to leave.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes you just have to put your foot down. But I know what you're saying, though. I thought he was going to be a superstar for us. I really did.
Yeah, okay, here's the insight now. It says again, the first one again, was it a 1-1 draw? What was it?
I think we lost this one, didn't we? We played them at home.
At home.
Yeah, didn't we lose? to them.
Did we beat them?
Let me look. Let me have a look. Hold on. Let me have a look, sir.
Yeah, it was 1-1. No, again, I can't see it anywhere.
October results. So this was in when? September, yes?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, Salzburg. Yeah, 1-1. My mistake. We lost to Dynamo Zagreb. 1-0. I apologize. I got them confused. So Red Bull Salzburg, we drew 1-1. I remember it now. Yeah. Okay. What do you think? We're playing them away. Are we playing them away or at home? Let me think. No, we're playing them away.
No, yeah, we it's away. The first one was home. Let's see again. Injuries FC are always the same players. Again, you can say because we're thin, really, we don't have as many. As many. We don't have a deep squad as we may think we have. Oh, now again, Emery, new Villa coach. I think he's going to do well with them. Yeah.
Is he really? Is this announced?
Yeah, they have a good enough squad. Really, they spent quite a lot of money on new players, but probably would like to make some signings again in January. And you can say that these clubs are beginning to spend money, and when they spend money, they expect immediate result. And when that doesn't happen, the next thing they do is to let the manager go. Let's see. Again, here it says again, Red start again. Last season, Chelsea had the most injuries in the campaign and probably played the most games. Given the Super Cup and all, the Club World Cup and all that. Why is this happening? I don't think it'd be like that this season. Plus, if you look at the players that especially Kovacic and Kante, those are players we overplayed, really. What do you think, Potter? Roger?
Oh, I've been promoted from Eddie to Potter. I'm kidding. Take it easy. Listen, we played 63 games last year, equal to Liverpool. And in case you haven't noticed, we both got to the domestic cup finals. This takes a toll on the squad. And in case you hadn't noticed, both squads have been injury prone the last couple of years. It's because we're playing 2 to 3 games every week to 10 days, and the body is not designed, or it's not sustainable to play this many games. You just need a huge squad to rotate. And in some regards, I welcome the 5 substitutions because of this, but in other ways, I don't, because of the smaller clubs. It's a disadvantage for them because of their quality of squad. But for the actual upper echelon teams that are playing in Europe, then yes, it's deserved so, because the injuries, it's a part that you have to say the amount of games when you're playing 60 plus games a year, not every player, but you play at least 40 to 50 on the average. It's just not sustainable for these elite athletes' bodies. I mean, their body is their office, don't forget, So I'm hoping, even if we play 55 to 60 games this year, I'm hoping we rotate more, and it seems to be the case. I think, wouldn't you say that Potter is actually rotating more than Tuchel did last year? Don't you think so?
In some areas, yeah.
In league games, he definitely is. And actually, I know we haven't played any domestic cups yet, but it seems like he is actually. I'm not talking about formation. I'm talking about players. I know we're not obviously seeing enough of Pulisic, but I think he's playing quite well. Then again, we've had more injuries this year than last year also. But you said our squad isn't that deep. It actually is. It's just the fact that we're missing 4 starters.
No, you can say. Let me say we have a large squad, but it's not balanced, really.
No.
How does that sound?
Yes. No, indeed. I totally concur. We're so top heavy. I agree. The only thing that is even marginally balancing out is the fact that we've got 2 very solid keepers. Other than that, we need at least 1 or 2 defensive linemen extra, and a right back, of course, for sure. We're missing that.
And DJ here says again, ask the question: are we having a Papi Dibalugi situation with Zakaria? Is he that terrible? I don't think so. Again, I hope he gets some minutes tomorrow.
I don't see it.
I don't see it happening really. This isn't the more important game. the lesser the chances of him playing from, again, the way Potter has treated him shows he doesn't trust him, or there's something else we don't know really. And I'm not gonna be and I'm not gonna join the gang of people calling for him to start. And I'm gonna repeat an argument I've repeated before. In the first place, if it was that good, Juventus wouldn't let him go. It is that simple.
And I bow to Potter's position because he's obviously in the mix of everything. After all, he is the boss. I bow to his knowledge and consideration based on his how shall I put, appraisal of a player. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we never see him don a Chelsea kit and play on the field. I just don't see it happening unless all of a sudden, God forbid, we're injury struck even more. I don't think he ever plays for us ever.
I don't see that happening either. Again, I know, Again, we're just seeing things from outside, asking the manager to use them. We really miss Reece James and Kante in this team. Yep, that's the truth. Again, Chelsea are different beasts when they are fully fit. Feel again, we are scraping through the games. I think, especially the last 3 games, whether anybody likes it or not. Yes, again, we've been unbeaten, but I will not let the unbeaten record mask the fact that we've been poor. Again, we played poorly in the last 3 games.
I say more than that.
If Potter himself thinks that way, then we're in for the worst. The only way,
Coach,
again, go ahead.
Sorry, Coach. I think you're being too polite, too considerate. I think if you look at the last 6-7 games, I think we played, with the exception of Wolves, but consider the opponent, I think we played quite poorly and or average in all of them. Honestly, in all of them.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately, we let the unbeaten record mask everything. And which I've said, if Potter isn't paying attention to those, those things we're seeing, then again, which is yet to come. But go ahead with what you're saying.
No, exactly. It's masking it. Maybe a lot. Not that I want us to lose, so please don't misinterpret this. But maybe
I get your point. I'm not.
Maybe had we lost,
I'm with you.
Maybe had we lost in one of the last X amount of games, maybe it would have awoken the beast, so to speak. Because people seem so content with the fact how we played, and I'm not at all. I think it's been. I think
here's the thing: some people are like that. But if you understand football very well, it's important to always, even when you win, pay attention to what we didn't do right. But in this case, what we didn't do right, they've been. Again, we've seen them so obvious in the past, especially the last 3 games. So why look beyond it and start saying everything is okay? It's dangerous, really, if we do that.
Actually, winning, you don't learn too much from winning for the most part. You learn from your mistakes, and
because in most cases, because you won, you often don't take it seriously.
And I think these draws are perceived as wins in a lot of the public's eyes, and I don't see it that way. I think it's more than 3 games we play poorly, Coach. I really do, with maybe one exception, and that's it.
No, I wouldn't doubt that again. Big up Chelsea all again. Thank you so much for finding time to join this evening. I hope you're doing well. Let me see if there's anything else to address here. Some updates, and then we go into again. We'll look at the insights, then some updates, and then we go into the lineup building again. Immediately, Conte level is above Tottenham. No, that's Conte. That has always been Conte level. Do you know how much he spent this transfer window? That's just, again, you could say he's being figured out. If you can take your chances, he will lose that game. It's always, again, soak it up, counter and score any chance you get. I cannot remember a game that I can honestly say, wow, Chelsea have blown me away. I really deserve that. Again, I guess Wolves, you could say, was it Wolves? You could say, we played, it was a bit shaky too, but we played better. Again, we played very well. He needs, again, a better club. Samuel, I really don't want to talk about Conte here right now, honestly. So let's look at the insights here. The insight says, again, Salzburg haven't lost in 16 matches. They are unbeaten in 8 games. We haven't lost in 8 matches, so half of it, 50% of how much they've gone unbeaten. Again, unbeaten, on 4 away games. So what do you make of this insight? Anything stands out for you?
I mean, they're high on confidence then. 16 unbeaten. That's quite impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's all comps, correct?
Yeah, again, statistically, do you think that means what the most likely outcome for you?
Yeah, I mean, we're playing in there. Yeah, I'm hoping for at least a draw. I'm hoping if he changes a few players, um, I'm hoping less pressure and possibly less physicality.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm really hoping that we play with confidence this time and more clinical.
I hope we do. What was the result at home again? Did we beat them, or was
1-1.
it? I think it was 1-1 draw. So they'd be on paper they're more likely to win this one. Given again 16 games matches unbeaten in the last 8 games. We match in that one. The last 8 games were unbeaten away. So to me, again, I think if we're looking at this, the most we can get out of this will be a draw.
Yeah.
That's what this insight tells me. If you're in the chat, let us know if you think otherwise. So let's look at some of the updates we have here. Then we go into again the lineup building exercise proper. This one here says again, Chelsea will not prioritize a deal for Cristiano Ronaldo in January as they continue to pursue AC Milan forward Rafael Leao. Just snap out of it. Just forget about it entirely. Don't even consider it. What is this really? I'm not. So what do you think, Roger? Shouldn't we just forget about it?
What's that? I didn't quite catch it. Sorry. Forget about what?
That again, we will not prioritize a deal for Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah.
Next question. Yeah. Yeah.
Just snap out of it.
Yeah, please. I beseech you.
Yeah, why consider it in the first place? Again, here is who it says again. I've spoken to a few of the Chelsea boys, and they say Graham Potter is unbelievable. His training sessions are superb. They say again he's a top bloke. His management team, top blokes. Again, they absolutely love him. I wanted to know exactly again. They love him. Because this is contrasting, maybe conflicting to the other reports out there saying some of them showing dissent. They don't like the manager, they don't respect him. So to me, it just feels like, you know what? I'm not sure what to believe, really. Let me just put it that way. What do you think, Roger?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who's the source, right? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, though. He seems like a very strategic, coach with his X's and O's, as they say. I think he's very much a technical coach in that regard, in formations and so forth. A lot of people have commented that the last game versus United was very much a bygone era game where you see two coaches playing a game of chess versus each other, and that game was for the, and I quote, the purists. So I can see their interpretation of that. I like him. He's technical. He's a new breed or brand of an English coach that has been lacking. Him and Newcastle's coach, I think, they're the best young English coaches that we have to offer by far. So.
Yeah, okay. Here again, we need to watch out for their striker, Benjamin Sesko. We wanted him to. He's one of those guys I pointed out. We should watch him. He's a fine finisher on his day. You have to look at the level of the team they play in those eight home games. Here's the thing, again, with confidence, you can move mountains. That's the thing. Whether they're playing a Division 10 team, the most important thing is they've won. They haven't lost a game in 16 games. So, yeah, that's a lot. Confidence can be very powerful. They can play even the best team in the world and still, again, get a win or a draw. So that's where that number comes in. What do you think, Roger?
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't know. 8 home games, really? I mean, yeah, it's true. I mean, the level of
16 games. So they haven't lost in 16 games in total.
I mean, that is a lot, but then you do have to look at the quote unquote level of opponents, right? I mean,
But what's the most important thing there? Isn't it the confidence they have?
yeah, confidence is important. It really
Yeah, that's
is.
what I'm saying. They can move mountain with that. It doesn't matter the team they're playing. The most important thing is
I
that
see
again
both.
they've been for 16 games they haven't lost a single game.
I
And
see both sides of that. I see both sides of
and
that.
if we're
But,
talking
but to
about,
them,
yeah, go
but to
ahead, go
them,
ahead.
but to them, they don't look at it that way. They look at it like, guess what? We are really we're on a roll where their confidence levels must be quite sky high. To be honest with you, to be that good for 16 games, that's quite an achievable goal. So yeah, they're not going to look at it like, are we playing in an inferior league? No, they're going to be stoked, as they say. You know, they really
Yeah, and
will.
even if we're looking at that, really, we drew at home. We couldn't beat them at home.
No, I know that. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm fully
exactly. So
aware.
again, to me, it doesn't matter the level of teams with,
By the way,
you,
by the
yeah.
way, Kurt Zuma just scored with a header for West Ham.
Oh, for West
Remember?
Ham. Oh, like they're playing. Was it who they're playing against today?
Bournemouth. Bournemouth.
Oh, okay,
But this is
Bournemouth. Yeah.
this is what I wanted to say. We miss his aerial ability, for instance, and Rudiger's. This is what I was saying earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we do miss that. That's part of what I've noticed that is apparent and lacking in our game from our backs.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just
Yep.
had to interject.
Mm-hmm. So let me catch up on the chat again. I'll come back to the panel. We'll start the lineup building exercise. Yep, again, I agree with you, but again, confidence is everything. Ronaldo to Chelsea to happen, Kuchila. he says it and he's laughing at me at the same time because he knows how I feel about that. And I know he's one of those who's arguing it won't work. Again, I'm sure you've seen his behavior too. Maybe you still want him. We'll talk about that when the opportunity calls. Again, old man Ronaldo would be our best player. I wouldn't even call him old man. Again, on his day, he's still finished. But there are other reasons why I've been arguing. I don't think we need him. He won't be good for our project. Plus, I don't think it respects the manager, no matter how you see it. Again, if you bring the argument, I'll give you a recent example, actually. I believe he's back. Again, he may not start, but could come on Just Viola. Who are we talking about there? Oh, Sesko. He's again. I think he could start actually. The team is named after an energy drink. I cannot take them seriously. No, that's when you should take them seriously. That's when
funny.
more reason why you should take them seriously because they'll be all power. They run all day and not get tired. Again, people will have just 12 likes. We can do better than that. If you haven't, take a second to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. Again, Chama Yusuf says, I'm home. I called in sick today. Oh, sorry to hear that you're not feeling well. Again, it's never good news to hear that, but I hope you get better soon. But thank you for joining the show anyway. Again, as good as Zuma was, again, he was a mistake waiting to happen nearly every game. That would lead to opposition scoring. That's the truth. Again, he made quite a lot of high-profile mistakes. Even at a stage, you think, again, he should have, gone beyond that level. Zuma won, again, Burma won. Again, Vardy had a Red Bull. He played well. Yeah. Go ahead. Well, you're saying something, Roger.
Yeah, Zuma with the ball reminded me of Bambi on ice. You know, very, very precarious.
I honestly do like Zuma as a player. Really,
I like him. And then I remember him blowing out his knee, just jumping. There was no contact. He just blew it out. It was so sad because I really did like him.
He's good overall. Yeah, go ahead.
An infectious personality, always smiling. He deserved. Well, no one deserves to get hurt, but I wish him best. I really do. I wish him well. I like him. I just remember he's dominant in the air. He just really is. It's one thing defensively and offensively. You can never say that he hardly ever got beaten in the air. And that's a very important part of the game in his position, both offensively and defensively. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with this, guys. I think the most likely formation will be a 4-2-3-1. Again, not anything three at the back. So let's see if they have that one. We're structurally, we're going to Again, 4-2-3-1 is this guy here. Probably I have to move things around a bit. It hasn't moved it. I'd have to refresh this guy, and it changes it to a red color. But go ahead. You were saying something, Roger.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I was just talking about what's his name? Zuma. That's okay. We can go on. Yeah, but so formation, do you think 4-2-3-1?
Yeah, that's what I think it will be.
Yeah,
I think because it gives us the opportunity to play with one again, just one of Ben Chilwell or and Kukurea. Playing them two is a high risk. We don't want to burn them or we're already thin in the defensive area. But go ahead, you were saying something.
No, I and the only time that I recall us using it is we did look really sharp. We played,
but we
well.
used it on occasion in a hybrid approach.
Sure,
that's what again. Whenever we drop to 4. It's usually for this structured really. But go ahead.
Yeah, or 4-3-3, a hybrid of a 4-3-3 anyway. So I'm not sure whether we'll have 3 in the midfield or 2. It all depends, but that could be hybrid also, especially if Mount is playing in the 10. He could always drop back in the midfield anyway when we don't have the ball. So I agree with you. I like that formation a lot.
Yeah, I think again we're seeing how effective it can be. Everybody played very well, but I'm surprised he hasn't used it predominantly. But you can say mainly Mount, and Koulibaly was brilliant that day. Kukurea too, almost you can say they all did quite well really. If you're in the chat, let us know what formation do you think Potter will play tomorrow. To me, I think it's a 4. It will be a 4-2-3-1 formation. Because it gives him the opportunity to play only one of what's his name, Ben Chilwell and Kukurea, and not both at the same time, which is to me a high risk. Let me catch up with what we have here. Since again, I want to again. Okay, call me optimistic. Yeah, it's good to be optimistic, and I'm not going to shame you public like you usually do to me because I see what happened there. You tried to delete it, but you don't know because. I like this. Only again, Zuma lacks again is consistency. If he had that again, he'd be world class. Maybe again, I want us again to win this game. Call me very optimistic. Also, yeah, I'm going to say this also again. Why did we even let again? I know most people again. He was scared. You know again. And most people were calling him names, saying how he was again. The worst signing ever for Chelsea Football Club. Malang Sarr actually on the ground, Potter would have done well. We went. I think surprisingly, a lot of players weren't able to see that that's a good player in him, really. But again, unlucky for him, he played at a time where the team was again underperforming, and a lot of people didn't want to point the finger at the manager, but him. Didn't want to point the finger at the fact that again we had a lot of players out injured. Again, so the midfielders in the midfield area, especially, so the defense at that point wasn't again properly protected, and but again they had to blame somebody, and it was Malang Sarr. But he's gone. He's going to stay at Monaco. Chelsea are reportedly back in for Cristiano Ronaldo. We'll see R7 willing to take a pay cut to leave Man United. Todd Bowley, I told you, Kuchila. Yeah, I know you told me. And I haven't forgotten. So again, I cannot have a man again, a back who kicked again his cat that's his issue. Do I think that was okay? No, I don't think so. But I think that if you want to talk about all the serious issues, we didn't take as serious as we took as seriously as we did when that incident happened, which was bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I wish we'd again. Tackle all the serious issues in football as seriously as they did in the case of him and his cat. But that's why let's get into it. For me here, I think still Kepa Arrizabalaga keeps his place. Unfortunately, some people were actually blaming him for that goal he considered against Man United. I think that's unfair, really, or maybe lack of understanding of what happened on that day. But your thoughts, again, what do you think? Who starts between the stick?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a cup game, but it's a very important cup game. I definitely see, unless
no. If we're talking about the cup game, he starts. It's not that level of cup game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the Champions League. Yeah, go ahead.
Unless Kepa has a knock, You know, other than that, you know, I don't see why Kepa should not be starting. It's simple as that. I think that's the end of the discussion. Period. Unless there is an injury, that's it. I don't. There's no countering for anything else.
Yeah,
I mean,
and if by any chance Mendy gets to start, then he probably will keep that. Will keep it. Because again, I don't see that happening really. But go ahead.
Oh, you mean if he does start tomorrow, you think he starts the rest of the games?
Oh no, I'd say, but again, I don't see it being a one-off thing. That means that Big Potter has a plan to bring him in.
I see.
That's how I see it. If by any chance he starts tomorrow and it's not because of Kepa is injured, and we see Mendy between the sticks, which means Potter has a plan to bring him in. And that's how I see it.
And if Kepa's on the bench, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. And if he's on the bench, again, I say again, Choma, I hope you'll get well. Please, again, I'll be praying for you. Again, I know how that feels. Again, Ronaldo to Chelsea, you're still laughing at me, right? Again, let's see if it happens. Chelsea must win again first. If not, again, we are in a Europa League. Again, winning is important. Win again. We don't say, okay, draw this one, win. No, we win every game to ensure that we make it out of the group. But that's by the way, again, we will look at the group in a bit. But let's build the lineup first. I think we'll round off with looking at the group. No, if we win tomorrow, Potter could start Mendy versus Zagreb. It's a risk too. I don't think he'd do that. No, I don't think he'd do that and then drop him on the bench again. What do you think, Roger?
Who are you talking about?
Again, just really saying, if we win tomorrow, the Graham Potter could start Mendy between the sticks against Zagreb at home. What do you think?
No. God, I could start Mendy versus Zagreb. I mean, you mean for the future one? No.
I don't think that happens.
No, I think Kepa starts. Period.
No matter what happens tomorrow. And again, in terms of the result, and if it doesn't happen, then again we lose, and it turns out it is his fault.
You mean if we're qualified? Let's say we qualify.
Yeah, that's what. That's what Just Real is saying. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe he does give Kepa a break for one game. Let's have a look at the schedule though. When does it start? You know. I think it's the last game or second last game of the season before the World Cup. So it's not going to give him that much of a... Yeah, it's on the 20th. Hold on, let's have a look. We're in November. Let's have a look. It's in December, isn't it? Sorry, not November. So it actually doesn't show it in the... That's it. We play all fixtures. So we play Dynamo Zagreb the second. No, where on earth? Hold on, let me refresh this. Sorry, Albin. All fixtures for November.
Just go ahead again. When you're ready to again go ahead. You have the floor.
Yeah, so we're playing. So we're playing Dynamo Zagreb. Blah blah blah, and then let's go to December. No, so from what I can tell from the BBC, we play. Hold on, maybe it's in October we're playing. Are we playing two? No, so we're playing Salzburg tomorrow, and then on the 29th we play Brighton, and then we're playing Dynamo Zagreb on the 2nd. Yeah, maybe that's actually a good time for a break for him. If we do hypothetically qualify, I get it now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not? Why not? He would have played about 9 or 10 games consecutively. So why not? And it's been in short bursts. So yeah, I think that's a valid point, actually. That is a strong possibility, assuming we have qualified, of course.
No, but we still want to top the group. So it will still be considered, again, a very important game if we really want to top the group. Because if AC Milan, they lost against us, and then when they win their next 2 games and we lose one, if they have more goals than us, they'll be topping the group.
But what's the goal difference? Don't we have a huge goal difference?
Yeah, but there's still a chance. They still have 2 games to get that number and surpass
No,
us.
that's
It's
true.
not too bad. Yeah. So again, here's the thing, and the away rule doesn't work anymore. It's been yanked since, again, was it 2 years ago or a year ago?
I think last
The
year
way,
was the
like, who
first.
beat who head to head, does it really count anymore? I don't think it counts anymore. But if it does, do let me know. But you get my point. Again, it says Kepa has 92% save rate against Saints Porta. Yep, that's the truth. Again,
Wow.
here, yeah,
Wow.
that's just brilliant, really. Again, I don't think Porta will, again, drop him, even if we win tomorrow, because the last game is still very important. Fingers crossed, Kepa keeps his form till the end of the season. I think he will, and he's probably going to go to the World Cup. You can say he's in better form now than De Gea, and he doesn't make, he's not prone to those kind of, you can say, howlers that you see from De Gea. So I think he'd go to the World Cup, and you can see how confident he is, how he played the ball out of his goalpost with our players. Two of our players, or one of our players on the left hand side, shows you how confident he is right now.
For me, that was the highlight of the game. It really
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, it was. That shows. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like an outfield player.
Yep. I think let's try to make this one a quick one. For me, I think the Silver starts here again. That area picks itself. We can no need even involve in the chat in this one. Silver here.
Yeah.
All over here. It really does pick itself.
No, it does. I mean, there's no other choice. Sadly.
Yep. So this is where, again, probably we have a bit of an argument here to settle our debate. Again, on left back position, I think he will be Cucurella this time. But again, no, I think, given what Potter said, it sounded like Cucurella isn't really ready. I'm not sure. He's still struggling to adapt.
You thought he had you thought Chilwell had a very poor game, yes?
Yeah, I saw that. So, but still, Potter is sounding, from what Potter said, he's really sounding like Chilwell starts tomorrow over Cucurella.
See, I thought he played quite well, especially versus Anthony.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused by what Potter is saying. Really, what is he talking about? Are you talking about Chilwell played quite well?
Yes.
Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead, explain. Let me hear you.
Because Anthony always cuts in to the inside because he's left-footed. I mean, heavily, predominantly left-footed.
And we knew that before time, and that's a signature move that he usually he gets goal from that move. But go ahead.
It's very similar to Ziyech and Mahrez for City. And what did he do? He let him have the outside. His hip movement, just like a cornerback in the NFL, he played the inside position, basically teasing Anthony to go to the outside and then cross it with the right, which he knew he can't do. And he never did it once. So he played the inside position with the hip swiveling to the right, which means he was blocking the inside move. He did it time and time again. It's very fundamental of a cornerback, as I said, on the line of scrimmage. And that's what he did. And you can tell he's been coached that. So I thought he did well. And not just that, when he was further up the pitch, he was always nibbling at his ankles. And so did Cucurella, especially when they're both on the field. They never let him forget that they're there to defend. And it got quite testy, actually, if you noticed, in the first half. They were not sticking the boot in, but they were being physical. And you know how animated he can be, Anthony, so passionate. And I think they were pushing his buttons. And I thought Chilwell played him very well indeed. I mean, for the most part, he shut him out.
Yeah,
I paid attention to that the whole game, watching it for the second time. I thought he did well, Chilwell. And I have a lot of criticism for Chilwell generally because all he does is pass backwards, going forward for the most part. I'm not a big fan of his, but I thought he had a good game, defensively speaking.
Yeah, but overall, for me, honestly, I'd leave Cuckoo on the pitch and take him off. Given his contribution offensively, again, he was poor and he gave away the ball too much. Again, I still don't think Cucurella should have been the one to make way for him. And just give Viola an opportunity to get back at me. I wrote left wing back instead of left back, given this structure. But I think it's still gonna be But I still gonna. I don't think we have the personnel
Tough
for
crowd,
this to
coach.
be. It's not gonna be a hybrid approach. I would have defended myself with that. But that's, by the way, really. Fingers crossed. Kepa, I think he will. That's Thank you so much for that correction. Now, man. Again, Anthony was enjoying himself out there. He had fun, really, and he had to go out up again. How many times I didn't count it, but on occasions he had the opportunity to shoot. One was really close, really.
He had one
Sorry?
with his right. He had one with his right foot when there was an opening, and that was it. And that's because Chilwell was further up the field. We got dissected. Other than that, he pretty much did not, in my opinion. I thought Chilwell played him very well. He played him tight also. He didn't give him space. I thought he played exactly how that position should be played. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, the vote is 50-50 now. And to me, if it is not, you can say, go ahead.
Cucurella is fresher too. Don't forget he only played 36 minutes.
So but it doesn't sound like Potter is going to start him, really.
No, it doesn't, does it? No, it doesn't.
It doesn't sound like he's going to start him. But go ahead with what you're saying.
But you would think, though, with a rotational purpose, that he would start him for this. I'm talking about him being Cucurella.
Yeah, if he's going to rotate, then he should start him. But unfortunately, I don't think that will happen. But let's see what the people in the chat think. We're going to plug in some areas while we wait for their vote. For me, I think Jorginho starts still. I know some people, again, thought he was one of the worst players on the day against Manchester United. But I think he starts this game. We can't do otherwise. If Jorginho doesn't start, what do you think we can do, actually?
But if Jorginho does not start, good Lord. Well, Kova for sure. But I would.
But Kova isn't really fully fit.
Yeah. So I'm because I think our right back is going to be. Well, it's probably going to be Aspie, isn't it? It can't be Ruben. So, in a wing back, it would be Ruben. But if we're playing four at the back, it's probably going to be Aspie again. That means he's going to play 2 consecutive 90-minute games in the space of what? 4 days. So then if Jorginho doesn't play, it's going to be Ruben. Then who's going to play in position 6? Mount?
No, I think Kovacic starts.
Yeah,
it's not like he's down and out.
No.
And against Manchester United, it was just like we learned during the Blue Money show. This is an injury he's been carrying for a while, which is that was why you could say him not starting against Manchester United was just not to aggravate the injury, but we saw again we really needed him, so he had to come on. So what do you think? I think without him, I think Ruben, as much as again he does his best when he gets to play centrally there, but I think we lack in terms of controlling the game again. Your thoughts again? I understand you like him to play there, but I think he's shown that he can do better on the right hand side again on the flanks. Go ahead.
Yes, he does. He's better suited for other positions. However, if we're depleted in that position for either injury or for rotation, then there may not be a choice. I mean, I cannot see him playing Zakaria. I'd be shocked, absolutely stunned if he does. I mean, Chukwuemeka is basically a number 8. Could he play in the number 6? Possibly, but I don't think he has the experience.
Yeah, I think he can. Why do I think he can play here? Because Chukwuemeka is, you could say, an 8. He plays like he's an 8.
Yes.
So, but this role is a hybrid of 6 and 8.
Yeah, right. Exactly why Mount or Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, but Mount usually he always seems confused whenever you see him in that position.
Sure.
Really.
No, I'm just saying though. Basically, the number 8s we have is Chukwuemeka, Gallagher, and Mount, and Loftus-Cheek. I mean, we have 4 basically square pegs in round holes. Is what we have. We have an abundance of number 8s and not enough true number 6s. Does that make sense?
We don't even have too many traditional 8s. The traditional 8s we have, we're not using them that we're not using them there. One
No,
of
I
them
know.
is
No,
Ruben
exactly.
Loftus-Cheek. We're not using him in his favorite position. It just seems as if it's never going to happen. But
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. So let's see what the people in the chat says. We have 15 likes. How many votes for this? 5 votes against. 60%. Benchi will start in the left back position, and Kukurea didn't get a chance again. But given your argument that again he's fresher, he'll probably be fresher. He gets to start. Maybe if we're really rotating, I think he should be given the opportunity. But people think it's going to be Chilwell, but I think it will be Kukurea. So I'm with you on this one. But let's see.
I think logic dictates that. I really do.
Yeah, logic says, but again, I have Potter really again has logic really worked for us on the ground, Potter?
Never,
you could say
Trevor.
no, he hasn't. Yeah, if you remember when we were thinking, okay, Christian Pulisic most definitely starts the next game, given how well he's done, and boom, yeah, Raheem Sterling kept his place, and then another game comes by, you think he was going to start still, something happened. Please, guys, again, no Sterling and no Havertz. I don't think those two starts tomorrow. I'd be surprised, especially if Sterling starts, because he played the last game too, right? And how long? Did he come on? Okay, or did he started, right?
Who, Sterling?
Yeah.
Last game,
yeah. He started again. Yeah, so yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, so again, it's not up to us. We're trying to predict what we believe Graham Potter would do. But I doubt
Sterling played until the 79th minute. Wow.
So it's more like playing 90 minutes, really.
Yeah, I forgot how long he played for. Oh, I couldn't believe it.
And before we continue, let me just say this quickly. Your thoughts on Graham Potter's are, again, a comment regarding Raheem Sterling, trying to help him, something to the effect of trying to help him. To me, it sounds like, again, he's being blatantly biased. So because he's trying to help him, he's fielding him to the detriment of the team. That's really what I think. So I want to get your thoughts on that.
So you're saying he's trying to play him because Potter believes that Sterling requires X amount of games to get into a quote-unquote rhythm. Is that what you're saying?
But yeah, you could say that. But to me, I'd say, again, that's blatantly again, you could say blatant favoritism, because he's just saying it openly. He's trying to help him, and now he's doing it to the detriment of the team, because on 2 occasions he started when he should have started. That's why I want to get your comment. What do you make of that comment? That again, that sounds like he's really just trying to help him at all costs, at the expense of all the players who deserve to start over him.
Well, if that's the case, then it's time that he gives the same courtesy to Pulisic, regardless of the detriment to the team. Then what's good for one is good for the other.
Yeah, here's where that argument, I have an issue with that argument. He has to finish again if he's really trying to help. He has to keep playing. What's his name, Sterling, until again he regains his form before Pulisic gets a chance. So I hate the idea, really.
Yes, it's nonsensical, Coach.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sort of sense, really.
No, it's wow, really. I mean, I have to listen to it. Wow.
No, listen again. Your interpretation could differ from mine, but I'm just saying that's how I see it, really. But again,
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
So it's just me reading into what he's saying. That's what I think he's saying. But go ahead.
Sure. In essence, that's what it really is meaning. It's what it's. Yes, I see what you're saying. And it is. It has been to the detriment of the team. It has been. I mean, but I've got news for you. Okay, this is for all intents and purposes how Sterling plays for the English national team and for Liverpool historically and for Man City for the most part. The only difference is he has a De Bruyne. He's had a Bernardo Silva. And who was the other Silva that he had? I forgot, the great midfielder that was one of the best for City. He's had unbelievable...
I think you already mentioned the guy. You're talking about Silva?
Yeah, so there's 2 Silvas. There was Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo Silva, David Silva.
David Silva. I mean, come on. I mean, if you have both of those Silvas plus De Bruyne feeding you the ball, I mean, he would make me look good. Seriously. I mean, and we don't have anywhere near that quality of service, as you can tell.
Mhm.
So, but he, for all intents and purposes, he does make very intelligent runs. I credit him with that. But his first touch is woeful. But having said that, historically, his ability with his speed to go past people has been a good attribute. But he's not showing that lately. He doesn't go past people. Invariably, he loses the ball. So you would think that it would behoove Potter to give Pulisic a start, at least 2 or 3. He deserves it based on the fact that Sterling has played
Mhm.
so poorly, inexplicably so. So
Yeah. So
actually,
again, here again, I think let's ask those in the chat. But I think Kovacic starts again here. I think it was
yes.
Chilwell that again. But let's.
But who
It's the
replaces
democracy
Kova,
here.
though?
Go ahead.
Who would replace Kova, let's say, after 70 minutes?
That's when Carney Chukwuemeka comes in because the way he plays shows he's capable of again playing that hybrid of 6 and 8 role. And from what I've learned, again, the application of that Kovacic role, it just I think he I think he has the attribute to do even better than Kovacic in that role because he's always open, creating spaces for the man with the ball, extra spaces. He doesn't just run blindly. He runs and creates again. You can say a good space that again the person with the ball can find him with it. So which means I think he's able to fulfill that role. But let's see, Gallagher for me, I think it's always a bit too much in a hurry whenever he plays in that position and seems lost. I don't enjoy watching Mount play in that position. He also looks lost whenever he plays there. Again, but to me overall, I really want players who are able to read the game very well because that makes a whole lot of difference in terms of screening the defense. And we haven't had that under Graham Potter at all. Jorginho does. That's if he's able to at least to run and get to the person with the ball. But go ahead with what you were saying.
No, no, I agree with everything you said. I think it has to be Kova starting with Jorginho.
Mm-hmm.
Or if his knee is still, maybe he wants to give him a rest, and maybe he plays Ruben there, maybe to at least start the game, and maybe have Kova come on in the between, say, the 70th minute. I don't know.
I'm guessing in this structure, you could say Ruben starts there.
Yeah,
Because we don't
I mean,
have the wing back position anymore.
yeah, exactly. So maybe it's best, medically speaking, to give Kova a rest. I mean, as much as I love Kova and Ruben equally, they're two fine players in my opinion.
Yeah, they are, but Ruben has no business playing there, really. I know
No,
he's
no,
been
I
able to.
totally, yes, sir, totally agree. He's better
Yeah, he's been able
suited.
to fulfill that role, but still, again, what we managed to see before they realize again that guy, he can produce more for us if he plays in the number 8 position. See
Yes.
how well he does on the flanks as a wing back or a winger. See how he contributes to the midfield, the attack, and everything. Again,
I really thought we were going to sell him. Actually, I'm so glad and pleased he's stayed. I really am, because
wasn't he the one that refused to leave? We were serious about selling him, but he didn't want to leave, really.
good. He believes in himself, and you know what? He's a year and a half behind schedule because of that serious Achilles injury. I mean, had he not experienced that on that AstroTurf, I mean, he'd be far ahead of where he is now. He deserves to start, but just in a different position. You're so right. But we have an abundance of number 8s. We really do. We're
Yeah, I
gifted.
think
We're
we do.
lucky. We have
Hmm.
depth in that. There's no doubt about it. We have absolute depth in that position, which is a good thing.
Yeah, and I think for the number 10 position, I think, I think it will be Mount,
Do you know
most
what, though?
definitely. Yeah.
So, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. I really think I can't do an American
Go
accent.
ahead.
Sorry. I really have a feeling that he may not start Mount this game. I have a feeling he may put Connor there.
No.
or Broja and with Aubameyang up. I think he's going to rest him. He started him in 8 consecutive games. He needs a rest.
Okay, then we'll ask the chat too, but I don't think if anybody's standing here, if it's not Mount, then it's most likely going to be Pulisic or Kai Havertz.
Probably Kai, actually. Kai would really be, because that's where he plays for Germany. He plays behind the second striker. You know,
All right,
actually,
again,
I wouldn't mind that,
yeah,
to be honest with you. I wouldn't mind that, because I think he does need a rest. You know, because not because of, he's mentally tired or physically tired, but that's where you push your body to the limit, starting 8 consecutive games. That's where muscle injuries occur. It just is.
Yeah.
You can't start someone, regardless of how young he is, each and every game in such a small period of time. It's just not sustainable. It's actually selfish too.
Yeah.
It's like
again, smash the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. 18 likes, we can do better than that. Please take a second to like. Again, to like the video. Again, please like and subscribe when you enter. If you have not, as it helps the channel reach a wider audience. Please do that. Again, we wouldn't. Again, we should try a Koulibaly in DM. He's capable of playing there, but we shouldn't do that. It doesn't even look like Graham Potter plays with a DM. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that before people start paying attention.
I know.
I'd be surprised if he does.
Do you think he's on the bench, Coach? Do you think he's on the bench?
Yeah.
Do you think Koulibaly's on the bench? No.
Really?
Well,
you think he's going to be on the bench tomorrow?
No, I'm saying I don't think he's going to be on the bench. Usually when he
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't think he makes the trip.
Yeah, he will not be traveling, most definitely. Isn't it risky to play a cover again? I think it will be risky, but again, the importance of this game tells me, again, the manager may well play him, really. But let's see what happens. Kovac was enjoying himself. Yeah, thank you for bringing that picture back again. I don't want to talk about that. Again, anyone joining in the chat, please smash the like and subscribe to the channel. Always providing excellent content. Thank you so much, DJ, my brother. But we still have a fight to settle on whether Chelsea should sign Ronaldo or not when you have the time. But thank you again. Yes, again, Kai plays a stand for Germany. He does quite well, but he looks clueless right now. Again, here's the thing. Can we be honest with ourselves? When has he consistently played in a single position for a while?
He's a bit like Ruben. He's a utility chap.
But Ruben is more experienced than him. And in the case, here's the thing. In the case of Kai, now I'm going to say this, and he's so young. And as much as being a versatile is good in place, it is dangerous for a young player. It can be detrimental to that player's development. It can bring a whole lot of confusion at us. Where that player fits in the best. And for instance, again, in this case, he's become the most useful tool, and he was the most useful tool in the hands of you could say Frank Lampard, Thomas Tuchel, and now Graham Potter. Because again, when they lack a personnel in a certain position, they call upon him. He's played here, he's played here, he's played on the right, he's played on the left, he's played here. The only place he hasn't played is from this 2 6s down forward. So that isn't helping on its own. But again, I get it. He's been in poor form, not denying it, but you must also consider, he hasn't played consistently at a particular position, especially for Chelsea Football Club. That doesn't help. He looks clueless again in poor form. I am for the Ronaldo fight, Kachila. we will most definitely slug it out. Again, it will happen someday. Again, isn't Kovac struggling with injury? He actually played with that same injury again against Manchester United when he came on. I think the whole thing, like I've heard, which makes sense, he's trying to avoid going under the knife before the World Cup. He wants to manage it and see if he heals better before time. Let's test Zakaria. It's not up to us, but we'll see what happens. Please, Zakaria, for F's sake, Graham Potter, is up to him. And I'm not going to get into that argument again. I'll just end up repeating myself. And Keepso, thanks for joining this evening. I hope you're doing well. Have I seen your comment before in the chat? I think I have, really. So here, the right-hand side here, I think, for me, Gallagher should start. I don't see anything that makes me feel like Potter will give, what's his name, Hakim Ziyech a chance, especially in this game. So I think Gallagher starts here.
Yeah.
That's what I think. So centrally, that's where you think maybe we should do a poll. And the poll, I think 86% thinks Kovacic start. Even though he's carrying an injury, I think he starts here.
86%?
Yeah, of 14%. And that's 7 votes. So given how many people we have watching, you can say half the population of those that are watching, you can say it's a good number, really. It's a good sample size. What do you think?
Yeah,
you just voted, right?
Yes. Like 86%.
Oh my goodness! You couldn't see your cousin face that humiliation. You had to do something to help him. Wait, it just changed, boom, and I was like, wait, Roger just voted.
That has Roger's fingerprints all over it.
yeah, but that's by the way, again, a plays a career. I don't think it's happening tomorrow. Let Chelsea win. If it happens, I'd be surprised. Then again, then he has a chance. But do I think he'd get a chance to play? I think yes, because the games are coming in thick and fast. Again, and World thin in some important areas too. So I still do think he gets a chance to play. Let's see what we have here. Again, you people want to kill cover.
Exactly.
It's the managers. That's hilarious. It's not us. It's the managers. They understand his importance. Like against United, the plan wasn't even for him to play, but he had to, because we were so disjointed. We couldn't play one bit until he came out. I think it was it against United? It was, right?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Was it against United that we had to bring in cover?
Yes, at the 36th minute, remember? Because Cucurella came off.
Yeah, I think it was, I voted Ruben, okay. So, I know, but it changed. The number changed, I know. And then it changed in favor of Ruben. That was when I knew immediately that it was Roger that voted. Let me see anything else. Again, Gallagher is injured. No, he's not. Did anybody say he's injured?
No, he's sick, isn't he? He was, I mean.
Yeah, but he's recovered. He was on the bench, actually.
Exactly.
So I think he'd be ready to play tomorrow. Probably he gets to play. Hello, Viola. Hello to you. To Gallagher, Pulisic, Mount, all that. That's what you think for the for the front three. And Adewoye, a good day. Nice to see you here, my Niger brother. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show against United. Okay, I'm not sure what you're trying to say there, but okay. Let me see. Here we say Gallagher. Here we think Mount. We have to put a vote. Oh, we'll find out. Actually, let me do the vote for the Mount. Can you make a case for Gallagher really again, Roger?
Yes, I can, because
go ahead.
That's where Mount plays, and he is basically being cloned. He's a Mount clone. His production, his work ethic, he's identical in so many facets of Mount's game. I think he's also, he can score also, I'm not sure about his assists as much, but don't forget his experience compared to Mount is quite minimal in the Chelsea squad, that is. I know he played for Palace last year extensively, and I believe he was their player of the year last year. So, yeah, it's actually, I didn't think we'd keep him. I thought we were going to sell him also. That's another one I got wrong. So that's good. I think it's either, if Mount doesn't play, Gallagher will play there. I don't see why not.
Centrally?
No, I'm talking about in that position.
On the right, I don't think Mount played in. If Mount starts, he starts centrally.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying normally it's that's where, and I totally agree. Actually, you know what? Because if you want to do a rotation, as we've spoken about historically between Mount and Gallagher, I would have Mount.
Well, we haven't seen any sign that he really wants to do that.
No, I'm just saying though, my preferred choice, if if I got a phone call tonight and said you're the head coach of Chelsea, I'd put Mount in number where Gallagher is. I'd put Kai in number 10, and I put Broja up front and Pulisic on the left 90% of the games, or let's say 75% of the games. I would like that formation. I would like to see that selection of players in those positions for at least a considerate amount of consecutive games to see how they gel. I would really like that. I think that's where we would best be suited. It gives us energy, gives us production. It gives us, technical players as well.
Yeah, but if we're not sure of his ability to create chances from that central area, then why start him there in the first place? It just doesn't make any sort of sense.
Who
No, who are you talking about?
So I'm saying I would play Mount on the right, Kai in the middle, Broja up front, and Pulisic on the left. That's what I would like to do for 4 or 5 games. I'm talking about just generally. That's my wishful formation and selection of those players. That's what I believe would best serve us.
Okay, do you think by any chance that Mount isn't going to start tomorrow?
Coach, I try not to think. It gets me in trouble. I've told you that before. Yeah, he probably will. Honestly, he probably will. Because I just looked at the schedule and we play Saturday, we play Brighton, and he'll probably rest him in the Brighton game more than tomorrow's game due to the weight of the importance of the Champions League. I get it.
And how important we're seeing he believes Mount is to the team. He said it openly.
He admitted it about 3-4 days ago, where he said that, he basically admitted that he's the first person he picks on the team sheet. So, I mean, personally, it would be Kante for me. I mean, in a healthy society, I mean, Kante is the first person I pick on the team sheet. I think he's our best player when everyone's healthy. But I know what he was meaning. Yes, he did. He alluded to that. He really did. It wasn't even subtle, was it? How he worded it. So, yeah, I mean, he really does rate. So this is the third coach that has rated Mount. So he must be doing something right.
No, he is doing quite a lot, right? But it's easy again. A lot of factors. It's easy to
But he's so divisive amongst the fan base, and I don't understand why. I just don't get it. But that's me.
And you don't see again. It's difficult to understand really. But the fact that he still keeps his place, and no matter the manager that comes in, should tell people a lot. That's something the managers see that they don't see. But to me, I think I see why he starts. But my only issue is that we overplace him too often than not. And again, even when he's mentally tired, we still feel them because of how important he is to the team. But go ahead, you were saying something.
Yeah, but then again, Coach, I think we can safely say that a lot of coaches have done that with Sterling, and I've never understood that. Because I don't rate Sterling. I never have. Do I want him to succeed? Of course I do. I want him to be the next Hazard, but he's not. He just, as I said, I virtually watched, I'd say like 3/4 of his games he's ever played. And when I heard that he was coming to Chelsea, or there was a possibility, I was cringing. I didn't want this to take place. But it has, and we have to go forward with it. Because he's not going to get the service he did at City, and it's going to show, and he's going to regress. His numbers are going to really regress, and it's showing that he has. That's all.
Unfortunately, it's looking like that's going to happen. Because you're using some factor regarding how City play. It's usually difficult to find out again players who aren't that much technically gifted. As long as you're part of the team, the pattern of play, again, the quick exchange of ball, again, trap a pass, and all those things usually masks some of their deficiencies in most cases. And they play as a unit so well that again it's hard to single out the player and say that player is
beautiful to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You must admit it. I mean, I say this as a fan of the game itself, not of the team, but they're beautiful to watch. They really are. They're delicious. They're a well-oiled machine. That's all I can say. They're a Ferrari, and we're looking more like a Pinto every week.
Yeah, let's see what else we have here next. Anybody said anything? No, it's worth looking at again. I'd like that formation he's talking about to be tried. Uh, this
What,
sounds like
the 4-4-3?
I wanna eat what he's eating. What exactly? It's that I love this really. This just sounds like being with your friend, being in a restaurant. You're not sure. You just say, "Okay, I like what you see that."
I'll have what
Can you
he's
get me?
having.
Yeah, I want to have what he's having. That just sounds like I'm not sure.
Oh, that's
I'm not
beautiful.
sure. I understand that really, but I like it really. Um,
Give me a double.
yeah, Mount is too inconsistent. That's why the fan base is also divided. I must say the inconsistency comes down to how many times we'll play him without giving him a break. I think it took, even in the case of Thomas Tuchel, it took him. It took the fact that it took the fact again that he started again. His decision making became so poor. I think that was when people started saying this guy is tired. Only a few realized really that he was tired and he needs a break. Because here's the thing about Mount is even when he's tired mentally, you still see that energy, you still see that running, you still see the tackles. But the decision making is when it's time to finish, when it's time to pass the ball to the right person. That's when you get to know we've overplayed him. And he played the most games that most people did, even in the whole Premier League and at Chelsea, especially at Chelsea Football Club. Again, I think we should factor that into our decision to come to that conclusion that he's inconsistent. We overplay him really. If we play him sparingly, I think we'll get the best out of him on consistent basis. He's hyped up too much again. People are trying their best to say he's Lampard 2.0. No, I think they're two different type of players. Let me say this really. I think he's equipped technically to do better than Lampard in the future. But right now he hasn't gotten there. Lampard isn't the most technically gifted, but what he lacked in technicality, he made up for his hard work and commitment whenever you select him. Again, people comparing Mount's stats with Lampard, despite Lampard doing everything Mount did as a midfielder, not a but still, again, the numbers overall, I get your point. They shouldn't be compared. Like I said, they're two different players. And believe me, again, Mount is capable, is equipped to do better than Lampard did. But we're not here to compare them really. But again, respect to the player, his commitment is next to none in the team. I like his spirit he brings. Again, honesty. He's always one of our best players on this day. But we should play him sparingly and not run him to the ground because how good he is, and again the energy he brings on the pitch. He may end up retiring early, and again than he should. What do you think, Roger, about that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I really do. I don't know about Lampard not being that technical. I thought he was. I thought that's what set him apart. He was able to first touch, place the ball, just perfectly.
Let me just phrase it this way, so you and I don't start a fight. He's not the most technically gifted player.
Well, hardly any English players were in that era, to be honest with you. Let's be honest. I mean, listen, I'm a huge England fan, but we're not exactly a bunch of Maradonas.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. But you'll notice, though, since the advent of St. George's Park and the more uniformity in the training badges for the coaches around the country that have been developed, you'll notice that England has produced a lot more better youth players, and those youth players are now coming through to the professional ranks, like a Foden, like who's the chap that plays in Germany or England midfielder? I always forget his name. But do you understand what? Yeah, Bellingham. Yes, exactly. Do you see what I'm saying? It's so you're seeing that you're going to see a lot more technically gifted English players because of the advent of St. George's Park. That's a byproduct. So
yeah,
that's why. I mean, So you think that he would become a club legend?
I mean, I think if we keep him,
Yeah,
if
no,
we
of
keep him
course.
at the
Yeah,
club,
yeah.
he's kept.
Well,
Yeah,
if we
again,
sell him
he's
next
then.
year, he's not.
Again, he's well equipped, to be able to achieve that at the club.
And
Yeah.
if he's lucky enough to stay healthy and have an elongated career, yes. I mean, he could very well. He could end up even breaking Frank's all-time scoring record, but he's not right now a prolific goal scorer. You know, he's not that prolific.
No, he's not. He's not a prolific goal scorer. He's not a prolific creator too. But you can say he's one of the best we have.
Yeah,
at this point.
I agree.
If you look at the numbers, don't lie either.
No, he's yeah.
But you can say overall he's a prolific performer.
Yes, yeah, he is in that regard. In his output, yes. Frank, I don't think was as industrial as this chap is. I really don't. But I mean, the only thing that worries me is that he's going to sustain a muscle injury if he keeps on playing this many minutes each year. It's just not. It's not something we should be putting him in that position to do. We're doing him a disservice, regardless.
Yeah,
of the
we could end up again running him into the ground without knowing. Because of his industry, again, how committed he is whenever he's on the pitch, and all that. Again, because the truth remains, even when every other player on the pitch is sulking, he's usually keeps his head up, keep working even on his bad day. Yeah.
Coach, we probably cut Kante's career by a season or two because of the way, quote unquote, we misused him.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I do agree with you. If you're watching, yes, 23 likes. We can do better than that. If you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We'll end the show soon because we're finishing the lineup. Again, we have Chilwell, Silva, Chalova. Again, the right-hand side we haven't even considered. I think Aspie, it picks itself. No one else plays, except if they pick some kid from the academy to come do that job there. I don't know who else plays there really. Here is where we have, again, people think 50% thinks Pulisic. But Pulisic he's a 10 really. There's a stat. Let me see if I'll show that. Oh my goodness, you're not going to believe it.
Hit me.
On how many positions he's played. I think he's another player you could say who's been affected by his versatility too.
Pulisic?
Yeah, go ahead. You were saying something, yeah.
No. Are you referring to how many positions Pulisic been playing in?
Yeah, quite a lot. There's something I saw online I want to share here. Again, it is concerning really, and you can say that playing a player in that many positions, especially a young player, can actually dwarf their development, or affect it to one way or the other, because it doesn't make sense. You have to master one position. Again, if you're capable of playing others, play predominantly in one of those in one of those positions. Then you get better at it. Just give me 1 second. Again, I think I should. Uploaded something here. I wanted to open it. I have to go to the other account to show you the stats. Go ahead. Were you saying something?
No. Do you prefer him in that number 10 position or playing on the left side?
But from what I've seen, maybe because I haven't seen him so much in the 10 position, I think I prefer him play on the left hand side.
Yeah,
really,
I haven't seen him enough playing in the number 10, to be honest with you.
I think for the US he plays there.
Yeah, but I mean,
even
under Lampard and Tuchel, he played predominantly on the left, didn't he?
That's how those guys see him. Here's the thing I'm looking at here, and this is from the Athletic. He's played at right wing, left wing, false 9 or striker if you prefer, and a central attacking midfielder. And the central attacking midfielder position, 41%. You say that of the times.
Is this his career?
Again, I think I missed a few actually. The only side he hasn't played is the DM, left back, right back. Again, the two right center back, left center back, and again, you know what that is again.
And this is based across his whole career, is it?
That's what you just look at it. Yeah, that's a lot. Again, this alone can actually again, it costs a player not to be at this, especially a young player, because we seem to forget the history. Just look at it.
Where was he used in Germany the most? I didn't watch.
I think this what something else I need to find out. And if you go to the Athletic, I think you find this article. Search Christian Pulisic best position. If you go to the Athletic website, you need to look at this really. Just look at it here. He's played in in left midfield again 2% of the time, right midfield again. You can say we have to count left wing back and right wing back too.
Yeah, sure.
So right midfield 1% of the time, 21% right wing back position. Again, a central attacking midfield role 41%, left wing back 30%. The striker role, which again usually force 9 at the approach, 5%. So that's a lot. So you can say these things again. That's why I argue.
I'm assuming that most of the 41% and the 21% or the 5% has basically been in Germany and for the US national team.
Yeah, more likely. No, but I think for Dortmund, he was on the left-hand side too, predominantly.
Was he really?
Okay. I think the US is where he played again. Coach Chris it's in the chat. I think he understands where he plays the most for the US. I haven't paid attention to that very well. But in Germany for Dortmund, I think he was on the left-hand side, really.
Yes.
Yeah. So to me, as I was saying, I think again, versatility is good, but it can be detrimental to the development of young players. Really,
to a certain extent, yes.
Yeah. To a certain extent, not like every other game they're playing in different formation. It's really risky, and I don't think it makes any sort of sense. And here, Coach Chris says again, Montego, if Pulisic doesn't score a goal, I'm done with him. Now, Pulisic looks hungry. Again, obviously, Pulisic needs to play on the left for Chelsea. Again, but I think he is capable of starting centrally, and that's why we're looking at this. And he's played majority of the times centrally. That's 10% more than the closest high number here, which is 30%, 11% more, actually. So I think he should start central. Go ahead.
Coach, I wouldn't mind him playing in that central position, in the number 10. I wouldn't mind him at all. Not a false 9. I'd like to see Broja or Barbara, but in the true number 10 position, I'd like to see him play there on the left side instead of Sterling. The only thing about if he plays just behind the number 9, that means Sterling's going to play on the left side. That's what I don't want.
And if you look at this,
does that make sense? I would prefer to play Pulisic on the left, Kai in the middle for tomorrow, because I think Mount should be given a rest, or Mount there, and then on the right-hand side, Gallagher. I would prefer to see that personally. That's what I would like to see.
And if you're looking at this, you could say now it makes sense. Why, whenever he's on the right or on the left, you see him again. He has that tendency to drift in centrally.
Yes.
Even whether you play him on the right or on the left, you'd see him centrally in this position. Naturally, he drifts towards the center area. Again, but usually it happens so natural, you wouldn't understand why he does that. But now this number, it makes sense. Why you see him in the central area. Go ahead.
Yeah, but sorry for interjection, but also you see that with Mount, where they interchange quite often. They do swap.
Yeah. But they do that when the approach is fluid.
Yeah. But you're right though. Knowing that now from this Atlantic journal, that that makes sense why he does that.
It makes more sense now. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea he played this amount of games in the middle in the number 10.
Yeah, I was researching his best position. That was when I learned that. So, now it makes sense to me. For Chelsea, it's been predominantly on the left-hand side. The most is on the right-hand side, and all the areas again he's played too. This makes sense. Obviously, Pulisic needs to play on the left-hand side for Chelsea. Okay, thank you so much for that. Again, start Pulisic and Broja, rest Alba and Sterling, bench Jorginho too. Bench Jorginho and do what? It sounds easy, but we're worse off without him playing, and we don't have any alternative to do otherwise until proven otherwise. Yeah, and it's as simple as that. Until Potter shows maybe if Jorginho isn't playing, here's what we can do, and it works. But we haven't seen anything close to being, again, what will work, really.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, sadly, again, that's what we find ourselves in, and we just have to go with it. Here, it says, forward, it says, start Pulisic again. Yeah, I've read that one. Here it says, again, Pulisic is good enough to justify playing with the winger. Again, absolute game changer. But does the manager see the same thing? I don't know. Victor Adedoyin, thank you. My Niger brother. Again, thank you so much for finding the time, again, to join the show. Let Havertz play behind the strikers. Pulisic is good on the left. Yeah, at least that's what we're seeing. But again, yeah, that's what I think too for Chelsea. I think, but if we'll start him centrally, it won't be a bad idea. I think he'd do well too. But my point again, it'd be good if we start playing players again constantly. You could say in a single position. Let them acclimatize to that position first. These are young players. Again, if it's an experienced player, fine. But for young players, it can affect their development really. Honestly. Again, Victor, yeah, again, I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. Victor, again, Havertz is useless. Again, usually that's how you see it. We see things from different lenses, and you have every right to express yourself just like you did. Again, please like and subscribe, guys. Again, we have 23 likes. That's good enough. We'll be rounding the show off soon, and thank you for all that. Again, it says bench Jorginho and bring who? Yeah, exactly. bench Jorginho for who, really? Until
Mendy.
proven otherwise, I don't think we can do without Jorginho at this point. Yeah, and some people, even when he's doing well, they don't give him credit, really.
No,
they don't give him credit, and
You're
he's
talking
the
about
easiest to
Jorginho.
point the finger at whenever things ain't going our way. Go ahead.
You're talking about Jorginho.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm guilty of that also, but I admit that he does bring certain attributes that obviously otherwise he wouldn't be playing in this league or or for his country or in the Italian Serie A. You know, he's a regista. You know, he's important for tempo. I guess would be his greatest attribute. He keeps it going. However. And you know, there are certain times, I think under Frank also, he made a lot more one-touch, no-look passes into the box. Did you notice that? And under Tuchel, that seemed to have declined. But now we're back to it slightly more, but not to the point where it was.
Yeah, more again, more vertical passes from him than the separate options of going backwards or sideways.
Yes. Yes, it's not as bad as it was under Tuchel. It's quite noticeable. But I'm not his biggest advocate, let's put it that way. But you have to give credit where credit is due. And he does have positive attributes. But without the ball, he is a huge defensive liability, with all due respect.
Again, Todd Bowley is just a good says Kovacic isn't playing. It's difficult to tell what happens given... if we really need to control that midfield, he has to start. And it's not like he's down and out. Like we said, again, he was on the bench, and when we needed him, we had to bring him on. But I think he starts this one, really. We're just being cautious on how, again, his involvement in the game, not to aggravate the injury he's having. But if you're in the chat, if you haven't, please do take a second to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, like I said before, and it will start happening gradually. We'll be seeing more and more evening shows again to allow me to be able to take other things. But that doesn't mean that the Blue Morning Show will die off. No, it will become even shorter. We've tried it 1 hour the other day, 1 hour, 25 minutes. But it was flowing today that we had to go that long too. So we want to round off this as soon as possible too. Let's see. Again, it depends. We have to go by what the fans thinks. What fans think will happen. And they picked Kova over Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Though I'm an American, I am not asking for Pulisic to start. Just want him to start based on the desire to prove himself. But he's proved himself already. And I'm an American too. And again, for instance, I'm one of those that argued for what the argument came out that why didn't he start the Champions League final? And I presented what I believe to me is a solid argument. Games up to the Champions League final, he had 3 games to make himself undroppable. But in those 3 games before the Champions League finals, I think one of them was against Manchester City. He was really poor. Had he done quite well, very well in that game, he'd get the chance to start in the final. So again, but again, I'm an American too. But right now, I know I'll finish reading your comment. He deserves to start, brother. Again, Diablo, Mark. I think he deserves to start again. And I don't think Potter has done quite well in terms of rewarding him for the form he's shown of late. Again, though I'm an American, I'm not asking for Pulisic to start. Just want him to start based on the desire to prove himself. He's done that. It could be huge for the club as a whole, and he's done that already, brother. Tell me if he hasn't. Roger, tell me if you think he hasn't shown that he's capable of making a difference if he starts.
Oh, most definitely. I rate him. I rate him highly, very highly. We're talking about averages, okay, throughout their careers from what I've seen. If I'm the coach and I have to choose on the average, if they're both healthy and if they're both playing at their peak, shall we say, I would choose Pulisic over Sterling. And I'm just being honest, I hold both passports, but I'm being unbiased. When I root for a nation's team, because I was born and raised in England, I've always supported England, internationally speaking. Like when we play the USA, I'll be rooting for England. It's just because I was raised here. But I believe Pulisic is a superior player. It's simple as that.
Yeah, that's no sentiment, but most people think otherwise, really. But go ahead.
Yeah, the other thing that is not his fault is the fact that he's caught the injury bug professionally.
That hasn't helped his case.
No, it hasn't, and you have to understand it's a part of the regression, being injured, because you take one step forward and you have to take 2 steps back because you have to rehab. You have to build up your strength, both mentally and physically. It's not easy being injured. It takes a toll on an individual, So he's been a bit unlucky in that regard. While Sterling, for the most part, has maintained quite a healthy career, if I'm not mistaken. So, as I said, he pulled that hamstring in the FA Cup final, and he was our best player for most of the season. And he hasn't really, truly recovered to that level since then. And that's unfortunate. That's mostly due to injuries.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, but most people don't factor that into the decision.
Do you agree? Do you not agree?
That what again? Go ahead. Do I not agree with what?
Based on what I've stated throughout their careers, do you not agree with your observation? My observation.
No, I agree. Honestly, I agree with you. Yeah, I do. Sincerely, do agree with you. I'm not gonna lie. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't taken a second to like the stream and also subscribe to the channel, if you haven't, we'll be rounding up soon. We have a few positions to plug in players, and then we'll call it a day. And then here we have again, fully agree. Thank you for agreeing. What's up, bro? Again, I love your platform. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Last season, Havertz said, I enjoy playing behind assistant strikers. And we know that quite well. But unfortunately, he hasn't played constantly in a single position. He's been everywhere because of his versatility. He's always been the one that the managers call upon to help fulfill, certain positions. Again, I enjoy playing behind, as an assistant striker. So playing different positions is mentally affecting his productivity. I can't phrase it better. Honestly, this is a delicious comment, by the way. It makes perfect sense. And that was why I said, again, as much as versatility makes a player a tool, a good tool in the hands of the manager, but an indispensable tool, if you prefer, it can be detrimental to the play, especially players in the age of, again, Christian Pulisic, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, also all of them. They're not already masters at the particular position, and they play multiple positions. I have to be honest. I think, but unfortunately, most people don't see things from the perspective about how that again the manager may well be again part of the issues he's struggling with. Prove again he's turned a corner and can be a consistent starter. I think he's shown he's capable of doing that. He hasn't gotten injured. He's maybe learned to manage his fitness better, and hasn't gotten injured for a while right now. So I'm not just sure, but unfortunately, maybe we don't have, again, there aren't American journalists during press conferences to ask, why has this happened, really? So we see what Potter says, because once he speaks, you'll be able to at least come to a conclusion, a sensible conclusion on why, again, the two games we thought he'd be starting, he didn't start, and Raheem starting them both, and added to the number of stinkers he's had on the ground, Potter, at this point. Again, I've read these two. I think, did I go back really? Again, it's just, again, give him a run of games and see the consistency, then we will know for sure. Yeah, but that hasn't happened really. Even when he deserved to start games, he hasn't started, which begs the question that somebody in the chat said on the other day, it's like not rewarding performance really. But I hope we'll move on from that. Come on, Chelsea. Blues tomorrow, yes. Thomas Sanders, yes. I hope we'll win tomorrow. And again, Giovanni Jafta says, Kepa is poor, guys. Mendy in goal, please. Yeah, you think, elaborate. I really want to understand what you're saying. Again, no offense to him, but I don't see him as our first choice goalkeeper. Again, Mendy should get a chance again. You have every right to see it the way you see it. It's as simple as that. And I have every right to see the way I see it right now. Kepa should keep his place. It's nothing warrants that he drops his place. Not at all. Big up Kachila, Roger, and Chad. Gotta go to sleep now. I understand. Again, the queen of the house. Good night. Again, I hope to see you soon again. Thank you so much for finding the time to join. Again, a good night. Just from Liam Lane. So we have, again, the 10th position, Mount, Havertz, Pulisic, Ziyech. Now it makes sense. I think it will be Havertz that starts here. No, not Havertz, really, Mount, so to speak. Again, if Havertz plays, most likely it will be in the position of Gallagher. So let's plug in this one here. And here, again, I think I'm just going to put Christian Pulisic. I think he deserves to start this game.
But let me just ask people. Coach,
yeah.
Coach, what do you think, honestly, Potter will choose based on this formation? Do you think he really starts Pulisic tomorrow? Honestly, logically.
Sometimes, again, there's something has happened repeatedly. You'd start questioning your ability to predict something, really.
Yeah, your own logic, right?
Your own logic, whether does it make any sort of sense. I have to say now, the truth remains, we don't have a lot to work with in terms of predicting what Potter...
If he does not start Pulisic, and by the way, I need to say something. I paid a great attention to Talk Sport and various channels like ESPN and Sky since the Man United game. And from what I can tell, they all, when I mean all the former players, all the pundits, all the analysts, they all unequivocally have agreed that Sterling played poorly against United. All of them.
And that's not the first one. The two previous games too.
Checkmate. I totally concur. So I'm thinking, it's ubiquitous. It really is. So if that's the case, and he does pick Sterling once more, we've said this
go ahead. Go ahead. Call it what you want to call it.
We've called it like 3 or 4. I've said this 3 or 4 games in a row now. Then I truly believe, in Potter's eyes, Pulisic is not a starting material player. He's just
or maybe blatant favoritism.
Yeah, whether it's subconsciously or consciously. To me, they're both.
Oh no! If it happens again, then it's not subconscious with his comment.
Yes. Yeah.
You got my point, really. But don't believe me on my you could say interpretation of his comment. Listen to it, so you see if that's what you get from it. But go ahead with what you were saying.
I remember Bobby said he was choosing players based on their passports. I mean, I disagree with that, but I mean, I have to maybe think twice about that because it's not on form. It's not even close. It's. You might as well put me in goal then, because I've got no form. Trust me, it doesn't make sense, Coach.
It doesn't make any sort of sense. I think somebody should please ask him so we can have an idea what's going on inside his head. We don't right now.
Either in the written press or the TV press, because that means that Potter doesn't see Pulisic as starting material.
Let's ask people again. Even if some people, think,
because I'm looking at it neutrally and objectively when I watch Chelsea play. I don't look at the first time when it's live because I'm I'm emotional. I'm too invested into the game itself. But when I watch it back a second time, I don't have that same approach. I look at it logically, and it's not passing the eye test, coach. It's not even close.
Let alone numbers.
Yeah. And you know what? Numbers are deceiving. They can be. You know, I started to apply statistics. Numbers can be very easily manipulated to side with your perspective or part of the argument. Does that make sense? However,
yeah, the whole thing starts with eye test first.
Yes, and you know what? He's failing the eye test astronomically, unequivocally, coach.
Yeah, he is. He is really. I'm waiting for those in the chat to see.
Even the attributes that Sterling had, positive attributes that he does possess, those are even failing him. Like his successful dribbles, like him, the balls going into the channel, and him not running onto them in time. He looks slow, lethargic. His first touch is preposterously poor. I mean, more so than normal. It's just everything about him. He's not clinical. It's virtually every attribute of a professional player's game in his position. He's failing at it. And I'm being honest in my assessment. I'm not being biased. I'm being honest based on the eye test. And then you have to look at the numbers, and the corresponding numbers back what my eyes are telling me.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. I would like to see Pulisic start 4 or 5 consecutive games, or let's say 4 out of the next 6 or 5. You know, maybe he needs a break. But I want to see him give it. I don't want to talk about taking him off for 60 minutes, play him for 80 or 90 minutes. Because he's, assuming he's healthy enough and he doesn't have any knocks, he's young enough to do that. Because if you take Sterling off at the 79th minute at United, who played so poorly, then I'm sorry, you can play Pulisic playing average till 90. That's how I look at it. He's the type of player that I believe needs a run of games starting and playing the vast amount of minutes.
Majority. Yeah, he does. Let's try again and plug in the final again player in call it a day. Good night again, just real. Let's see what we have here. Good night to you two again. Play Ziyech. I don't see that happening really. If it happens, I wouldn't be surprised. After all, he's still in the on the club's books. So again, he may be called upon to come. Okay, come do your work. Good night, brother. Nemaya follower. Good night to you too. Again, he's probably saying good night to Just Viola. But that's by the way. Now, here we can agree. I think it's Pulisic, 100% Pulisic. That's how many votes. 2 votes. That's good enough. I'm going to end it anyway. But here, to me, I think Aubameyang starts. Really. I do think he starts.
I do, and I don't want it to, but I do.
Yeah, as much as I want Kai to start here tomorrow, I don't think he will. But if he starts, fine, I take it. And there's a chance Kai actually starts in the number 9 position too. What do you think? But let's go. Yeah, this is where we are right now. Who do you think starts here? Let me ask the chat. There's a chance he starts Kai because he's played him there.
Where on the right?
In the number 9 position on the right hand side, maybe I'm not sure.
No. So you think Kai gets the start tomorrow, or you think Aubameyang?
It's hard to tell. Because he's rotated Aubameyang, he's rotated Kai in that position. There's a chance Kai starts actually.
Yeah. I do you think he's going to start Gallagher and Mount though, consecutively?
He's done that before, and wanted to do it against the other game too, but it turns out again he was injured.
Yeah, he was sick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he starts.
Well, I think most likely Aubameyang.
I can see him resting him also.
You can see him resting who?
I can see Pierre-Emerick being rested also. I have no idea what Potter's going to do.
I think if again, I know what's his name, Broja will get his chance again, but it will most likely be in the league.
I would love to see Broja play tomorrow. I would love that more than anything.
Do I think that will happen? I don't think so, but if it happens, I'll take it. It would be good for his confidence.
Who did Broja start against recently? Who was it?
It was against Brentford, I think. Was
against
it?
Brentford, which was physical, and he played well. So yeah, it was Brentford, sir. I believe it was. So why not start him again? I mean, that was a big game. That's a London derby. I don't know, but I can see him. I can see him resting. I can see him. Well, it's three choices. I can't
Mm-hmm.
figure this chap out, Potter. I can't figure him out.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really
I
can't.
think yeah. We'll
Just when I
see. Like,
think, just when I think that I can slightly read his mind logically and rationally, he does
uh
something. Yeah, whatever. It's perplexing.
Yeah, again, Victor, I did doing insisting I will start the Aubameyang tomorrow. We need to get him to again a goal scoring rhythm. He's already there again. Yeah, but it's broken really. Again, he lost that form. But I think had he rested when we called for him to rest for Broja to start, maybe he still had the form would have been intact. Regarding Pulisic, he will be fine with GP. Again, the GP is good in man management. Let's give him another chance. Yeah, but he hasn't. Let me just agree with you. No worries. Again, good night. Hope
No, but
Chelsea win. Go and sleep, coach. Okay, thank you very much. Again, Kepa gets beaten easily. Mendy's height again would have saved that. No, I disagree with that one. Does he have a height advantage? Yes, I agree. But
it's
here's the
not the
thing.
height, coach. It's not the
Yeah,
height. It's the wingspan.
this is not even about height in this case. Remember where Kepa was before Casemiro nodded that ball. He had to from that place reach it on the other in the other angle. Usually, again, go check it. You see
You have to cover your
instances
near
where
post,
Mendy
coach.
have found himself in a similar situation. He was rooted and just stretch his hand like this, and that's it.
Coach, he has to cover his near post because the ball was delivered.
Exactly.
Yes, you
That
have to.
was
That's the
yeah.
golden
Go
rule.
ahead.
You can, as a goalkeeper, you should never. It's the golden rule. You should never concede by your near post. So he had to go to the near post, and then the header was headed across the goal, and he dove with his left arm stretched to his right, which is what you're supposed to do textbook wise. True, Mendy is taller, but it's not the height that matters, it's the wingspan. So maybe he would have had an advantage regardless. But listen, he conceded by between 2 and 3 centimeters. He's in 7 games, I think it is. He's kept clean sheets or 6, I forget now. He's kept us in games. I thought he was our best player of the game, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah, again, I think it'd be real unfair to judge him
Five
for that,
five
and I'm not going to
consecutive
do that
clean
really.
sheets. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
conceded in the 5th minute of overtime, or injury time. So I think it was close to like 10 hours of clean sheets. That's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jorginho, Coach Chris says Jorginho definitely has value. I think he plays a bit too much, to be fair. Wants to see Carney Chikwe make a start, but yeah, probably not going to be able to fulfill the Jorginho role. I'd rather him play the Kovacic role. I think he's capable of doing that. In the Jorginho position, again, the most that can happen will be, again, let's say, what's his name? N'Golo Kante. He's now fit. And what's his name again? Zakaria, which I don't think the manager trusts him. But that's, by the way, again, me himself a little undroppable in the summer final score in a goal through an assist. I'm not sure I understand that statement there, but that's, by the way, again, Coach Roger, any final thoughts so we can call it a day?
No, I don't believe so. So who are you putting in for number 9 then?
Aubameyang 50%. The
Yeah.
other two people there got 25%
Yeah,
at least.
I think that's as much as a solid call can be called solid with Potter. I think that's pretty much. I hope we use this formation, and actually, I hope Kova is rested. To be honest with you, I'd like to see. I would like to see Ruben play instead of Kova, based on because I would
He
like
may
to
well start. You don't know, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I would like to see Cucurella instead of Chilwell. But other than that, and obviously, I would love to see Broja instead of Aubameyang. I would love that. I rate Broja to be. I would like to see him start at least every game till the end of the season. You know, I mean, to the end of the World Cup break, but that's not going to happen. So yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, listen, it's hard to get inside the mind of Potter. It really is. I mean, he could play a 3-5-2 for we know tomorrow. Who knows? But I think this is pretty good. I mean, as long as Pulisic starts, yeah, it's I don't know. It's going to be a hard away game. I'm not sure what their capacity is, their stadium is, but it's going to be loud. Knowing that,
Oh yeah.
it's going to be the 12th man definitely will come into effect. It's going to be a good game, coach. It's going to be a good test.
Yeah, it will
for
be
us.
indeed. Yeah.
But I'm hoping that we're going to be more open because we are front loaded. I think it's time to exhibit our firepower.
Yeah, it will be indeed. Again, you have to reward a good play with playing time, or else you lose all credibility, or the players won't trust you. The player in question won't trust you anymore. Again, your team very quickly, and that's where we always mess up. Again, in this case, he hasn't, but I hope that changes.
That's so true,
again, comment Giovanni Japta Kepa tried again. Go check the game with Brighton. The header from again well back down. But yeah, he didn't even move. You couldn't serve. It's not about height. It's about again your agility. Again, I'm not gonna go get into that argument either. Do I think Mendy is a bad goalkeeper? No, I think he's a good goalkeeper. But people coming at Kepa Arrizabalaga for that goal he conceded, again, we need to rethink it. I don't think it's fair. And again, with that, we've come to the end of the show. And Roger, if you have just a minute after the show, let's just speak just 1 minute if you have, so you can stay on the backstage, please. Again, thank you guys for finding the time to join the show. I cannot thank you guys enough. Completely agree. He hasn't really been a fit to me until now since that hamstring again, tear versus Liverpool in FA Cup final. Yep. Again, thank you so much, guys. Again, Coach Chris, Victor, and Giovanni Jafta. Again, everyone is just Viola, Liam Len, the captain of the house. I cannot thank you guys enough. Again, I hope to see you guys tomorrow. But I'm going to check the game starts early tomorrow for me. So which means there will be not too much space between the Blue Morning Show at that time. Maybe we'll just do a build-up show where we'll talk about, again, the game. I think it will work. And with that, we come to the end of the show. Thank you so much. I hope to see you guys during the Blue Morning Show. God bless us all, and bye.